4, 3, 2, 1.
Even with a well-played Snapfire here, I think troll a bad and just out-farm you, just pressure.
So you're going with
constantly.
IG.
It's hard not to based on last game as well, right? But I do see... I actually think from a draft perspective, thinking about it a little bit more, if things go right for T1 here, I see an easier path to victory. But how do I put this into words? So in the last game, some things needed to go really, really well in order for them to have a decent shot. I think this game, if things go really well, they're favored.
Okay.
But they need to get ahead. I don't think breaking even is enough once again. And that, based on how last game went, is a little bit concerning, right? Because the game was slow. That was a slow last game. We had like 5 kills minute 15, or it was 3 kills minute 15,
honestly,
actually.
I think... I really think that comes down to nerves. First game of TI, it's been 2 years coming now, right? Yep. I think that first game is just like shaking off the nerves, and we'll get some more. I mean, passive play is fine. It's just not the norm for Dota, so I think that's a big reason for it.
Having low kills does not mean you're playing bad. It really depends on what your strategy is trying to accomplish and what needs to happen. Looking at T1's lineup again, though, compared to last game, some similarities, right? Where's the playmaking? It's the Storm. Night Stalker needs items to really make powerful plays or initiate them.
And Tide is position 5, so
Tide
he
is
will
5.
not get items.
You have no other catch, right? Snapfire is a follow-up.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you have Line Ember.
Like I'm not saying that a core snap makes sense here, but like the Ags in terms of the initiation, that's where Tide 5 makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, that could have been cool.
Well, maybe Zephyr get a little bit more fun than we're used to here as Ollie. All right, inside the tree line. Looks like we'll be good to go. So talk to me about Troll Warlord, because I absolutely love this hero, but he has been basically unpicked for God knows how long now.
Yeah, quite a while.
And I mean, I know the talents got redistributed a bit for him, but in terms of just actual changes, I'm not even remembering what. He's just such a forgotten hero here. As we're going to see the bounty rune spawn, T1, looking like they're going to get it, and they do. So it looks like they will get 3 out of the 4, I believe. Is Fly doing good amount of damage to Cuckoo.
He could have actually grabbed the other bounty, but he was not sure that that was safe territory to enter on the troll, so he's just going to settle for a 1 for 3, like you said. So a little bit of an advantage here for T1, which is nice. About troll, I think this hero needs good matchups. I don't think it's just one of those carrots you just pick just because,
definitely not,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
And IG with the heroes that were presented to them at the time, I think they saw both the Luna and the Tide, and they just felt like these are good matchups, so we're going to grab the troll because of that.
Yeah.
And now he's going to end up facing a Night Stalker as well instead, and he probably doesn't feel bad about that. You're just going to see him laying into Cuckoo non-stop, that harass.
Meanwhile, mid, we have the brothers fighting each other. Stormsphere versus Ember, Emo versus Carl. Who would you give the advantage to in terms of, not the players, but the hero matchup?
I think it's slightly Storm favored, but it used to be better than it is now. I think especially the change to level 1 Flame Guard, where it went from 50 to 110, makes a pretty big difference in this lane, because it means you can't remove the Flame Guard with 1 Fire Remnant. Or sorry, one Static Remnant. Wow, that took a while. And that means that in these early levels where Storm would usually just dominate the lane, Ember can at least hold his own. And once you get level 3, Flame Guard isn't really getting removed anymore. So, but yeah, Storm should be slightly favored, I guess. And
this lane we have 23 Savage on the Luna, of course, and I mean, again, the untraditional position 5 Tidehunter, not the most common thing that we see these days, but see how that ends up going for him. He's trying to get the courier, but Tide is fat and slow, so will not be able to catch up. JT, I can relate to that, by the way, as JT is now getting chased a bit.
Nice, I didn't have to say it.
In terms of like the harassment capability from that lane, like with Tide as a 5, is that like a disadvantage inherently? Like he's really tanky.
Yeah.
He just walks up like a lumbering beast and just applies a little bit of damage.
He doesn't benefit very much from Lunar Blessing, right? That's the problem. Luna loves to lane with a support that can attack, just because you get a free item when Luna is level 3. Right? It's 5 damage, and then it jumps up to 15 on level 2, which in the early laning stage, 15 damage 3 minutes in is a lot. But Tide can't really use it. Yeah. Kaka with the courier. Fun fact.
Yep.
Since patch 707, Kaka with the most courier kills in Pro Dota in the world.
That's
logged.
Right. It's not Yapzor.
#1. That is true. Someone would guess that if they didn't know what they were thinking about.
That's right.
Yeah, Kaka #1. And we see why they're on his line given that.
Absolutely. I mean, this, like you talk about, this is the reason you pick Troll. The laning stage, this is a hero that wants to fight. A lot of position ones are, you know, very passive. I mean, a lot of these heroes have gotten better over time in terms of balancing, like Void used to be completely worthless, now he's okay. Same with Spectre. Yep. But Troll is like a bully in the lane, especially if you're like these melee heroes.
It's not going too bad for T1, though, down here. Breaking even on CS between the two. And Carl is significantly ahead on mid currently against Emo. So fair to say that the laning stage this time around for T1 just flat out going better than last game, right? They're off to a better start here overall. And that has you hopeful for the mid game this time around that since last game they did a good job, but it was just hard. This time they could be the ones taking the charge instead with their Night Stalker, which makes a world of difference when this hero is ahead compared to when it's even or behind. Like, such a polarizing hero in general. Bottom lane, Cuckoo's in trouble.
Getting chased a bit away. Here. Made it sound really exciting, and he wasn't even close to dying.
He had a lot of stick charges, I didn't realize.
Okay. That's good to know. Maybe the Earth Spike here for 23 Savage. Can take a little harassment, but he's doing just fine right now. 18-4 versus the 19-1 Troll, so basically a wash in terms of just the CS discrepancy.
I wonder what happens to bottom lane minute 5. If Zephyr gets level 4 and skills Cookie, maybe they can even kill here. At nighttime, Cuckoo will get level 4 as well, and the balance might shift enough that Troll isn't favored at that point. You kind of weathered the storm and did a good job down here now. Now the question is if you get the payoff.
Well, 23 Savage getting pressured. The Hex is there with JT applying a lot of pressure. Oh, the Fairy Fire keeps him alive just a little bit longer, but it's not going to be enough. First blood goes the way of Kaka himself. As Fly, like you talked about, he's taking heavy damage right now, but with Ollie in the vicinity, he's going to be perfectly fine. In fact, I'm going to try to turn this a bit. Photic Shield now going to pop shortly.
Nighttime's coming up. The good news for Troll in this lane, even at nighttime, is that a lot of the time you can just pop Whirling X's and just turn around and hit the Night Stalker when he goes on you, right? You just man up and force him out. But once X's are a little bit on cooldown, maybe you have a small moment of opportunity.
Whitemon gets Earth Spike here into the Hex as well. JT with that Scorched Earth. Might be enough for a kill. He's going to try to turn this around with the Lucent Beam. Looks like it's going to be enough to get the kill on Kaka instead. As we see some pressure now into the bot lane, Fly. Basically a 1v2, but Ollie is on his way back. I need a Photic Shield. I need Mist Coil. I don't know what the translation would actually be. But
he gets the salve.
Okay, so even better. Give me something green. They're all green.
It's like, I need these two things to protect me, and Ollie's like, no, you get the better one.
You get a potion.
What a bro.
Delicious.
Yeah.
What kind of build are you looking for from Fly? We saw a lot of Maelstrom. Like, Battle Fury kind of fell off.
Yeah.
And now Maelstrom seems to be the go-to, or Diffusal, I guess.
Yeah. I think you get Maelstrom probably here.
There we see the replay here of the salve. Very important stuff. Is Emo in the river? Looks like, who got the rune there, actually? That was a 6-minute.
It's bottom.
Oh, yeah. Didn't even spawn there. They were just looked so confident. Carl's going to get the Arcane rune, so that is a very good choice for him. Not that it was his choice, I guess. But
very good choice.
Very good choice from Gaben to bestow an Arcane rune upon him. As we can see, Scorched Earth onto JT, but the cookie is there. Now JT.
He's stupidly tanky with the ice armor.
And there comes Ollie with the Mist Coil and a Photic Shield as well. Trying to turn this around on Whitemon, but this is the advantage of having a tide. It's position 5. You are just so ridiculously tanky. JT getting a little bit too low now. But now that Ollie is TP'd out, we'll see what happens in the bot lane against the Troll.
Yeah. I think Fly can just hold his own here entirely because Snapfire is also part of this top move and doesn't have a TP now. So I think that's a solid response here from IG to just go up there and might make their own move. Kaka.
Yeah, Impale's there. Zephyr going to try to turn this around. Is Whitemon. The cookie's not going to be enough not enough range there. So just expends the gush and nothing else. Now Whitemon kind of out of mana for the most part, so not sure what they can do.
Yep. Zephyr did find a lot of mana from his stick charges there, so he does have one more volley of spells at least to work with, but It's hard to see the play up here for these 3 heroes against these 2, as long as it's not a Baden getting jumped. He can just save either Lion or Doom with an Aphotic Shield and just get out. Like, the most important thing to remove here is just the Gush, really. Then the chase potential doesn't really exist that much.
Yeah, but JT, I mean, this is not uncommon to have Doom in top net worth at this stage of the game, especially now he's going to go for Midas. It's just going to be expanded upon. But level discrepancy, he was actually winning that battle in the top lane. So off to a very, very good start from IG's side, their offlaner. Emo is going to find Whitemon here in the trees. Zephyr's there as well, but yeah, there's just too many heroes they're not comfortable. Oh, looks like the rune is not going to be taken by Emo. He thought it was bottom, but ends up getting brought down by Carl. My goodness, wrong place, wrong time. Not sure what the communication there was, but Ollie's going to get taken out as well. So a double kill for Carl. In the meantime, the battle for the illusion room comes to fruition, Cinder, and Zephyr's going to get brought down as well. So 2 for 1 across the board. There's the Doom, first of the game. And that's going to be a double kill for JT. So nice turnaround from IG, but definitely a misplay from Ember. I'm not sure what the... It felt like he thought the rune was bottom, even though it spawned right next to him, like a millisecond later.
I'm not sure what
that was. They might turn this around, though. This would be a big turnaround. Carl zips away, but the remnants are there, and yeah, he's going to go down to that Flame Guard DPS.
Very, very quick response. And yeah, this is going to lead potentially to a lot of damage on this mid-tier 1 tower. You need to rotate in support here. They're going to town portal in the Night Stalker. Oh. Are they going to dive this? No, not currently. They're going to back off. So at the very least, they force rotation and take half the tower, and in the meantime, Doom is free farming top. So I think IG probably pretty happy with this move, even though they don't get the full tower. They're, again, the ones to do the first major dent in the structure, just like in game number 1.
Yep, for sure. I mean, right now, Doom is the, like we talked about, he's kind of the mini alchemist, right? So just having a 1K lead, maybe that's a little more even than we think, even past that.
That's fair.
As Ollie gets brought down now in the mid lane. So Carl starting to snowball a bit. Obviously that death was pretty costly for him, but still doing quite well. He's going to jump now with the cookie to come to fruition.
Oh, he's out of
Fly
mana.
gets his ult off, and now Carl in a wrong place, wrong time. Again, Fly. Looks like they get credit for that kill. He might be brought down shortly after. Finally, ult is down. Pops the Fairy Fight. Now going to turn this around to Cuckoo. Gets the Whirling Axes off Emo. On the other side of the trees, and Cuckoo has to pop that ult to make sure he can go up the terrain here.
Ooh, that is...
I thought that was going to be at least a kill onto 23 Savage.
Storm deaths like those hurt so bad.
Yeah, that's 2 now.
It's such a snowbally hero by nature, and he's effectively delaying his Orchid by maybe 2 minutes with this mistake of overextending there. They were close to getting the kill in all fairness, but it's very high risk, and even if you kill the troll there, you might still die, right? Like, you use the entire tank next to mid-tier 1 where people could just TP in and fight back, so... Yeah, not really too big a fan of that attempt from Carl, especially with it failing. It's obviously a bit of a disaster. Mid tower's going to fall here, more than likely. IG just relentless once again. They're just going to keep shoving. And I think they also have a siege creep top that's going to push, so they might even make their next move there. Whitemon?
Well, they get the Impale into the Hex as well. They're doing a lot of damage, but there's a big Ravage coming in. And you can see with the pressure from the backline on that Snapfire, doing ridiculous amounts of damage. They'll find the Kaka kill. Ult is finally popped from Ollie. Just getting blocked now. See if they have enough damage to take him out eventually. Looks like they will. As Carl looking to get credit for that one, as there's the cookie to help close the gap. And that is a second kill for them. And the tower somehow survives.
All right. Yeah, they chose to open up on the Tide under his tower.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Don't think that was the play there from IG. That gets punished very easily by T1 with that Ravage turnaround.
Looks like it's going to be likely a deny to come in for T1. Be successful with that.
Not bad.
Yeah. Bottom lane, bot lane, crippling fear. Going to get turned on though. Fly and Kaka. Looks like we'll have enough damage in all likelihood with that Finger of Death. Indeed. Fly going for the Maelstrom, by the way. Went for the Falcon Blade first. Yeah. So we'll see once he gets that, he'll be able to farm the jungle pretty easily.
If you haven't watched Dota much since the last TI, you might be wondering this whole Falcon Blade thing, because I don't remember. I think last TI this time, first of all, didn't exist.
Neutralize didn't exist.
That's true. There's actually a lot of things to catch up on if you haven't watched since last TI. But let's just say you haven't watched a lot of competitive Dota this year, but you know Falcon Blade is an item, and you're wondering, okay, why are all carriers just picking this up now? This item has been receiving buff after buff after buff over the last year.
Mainly because it was literally
never
unusable.
Yeah. And it's reached a point now where finally the math... So what makes this item so special is that some people call it the new Aquila, if you remember. So it doesn't upgrade into anything. It's just a value item that you have that gives damage, mana regen, and health. So it's very nice stats for carries, obviously. But since it doesn't upgrade, you can't really... You need value for it, right? It's a similar path that items like Bracer, Wraithband, okay, we'll get there later. Emo.
Crippling Fear. Oh man, Ember's gonna get absolutely decimated. Emo gets blown up. Carl basically out of mana, but damage has already been done. JT on the run now. Do they have enough catch? The Lucent Beam's gonna keep him in place just for now, and that's a double kill for Carl, as Ollie not able to keep his allies alive. And looks like he's gonna be the third brought down in this mini engagement in favor of T1.
T1 are definitely bringing the numbers to these fights. Very nice.
And Fly very close to about 600 away from finishing the Maelstrom for himself. And they're definitely at the disadvantage. We talk about the Doom net worth advantage that inherently comes just by having that hero. There's the Orchid, like you said, a couple minutes behind probably what he would have been if he didn't die a couple times. But good initiation here. And that's a huge... I mean, Crippling Fear against any of these mobility heroes. Very, very strong.
Yeah. And while T1 do defend their top tower, which is necessary in this spot, I think it's a great choice to hold that. It is still low on health, so probably going to be another move from IG coming up here very soon. Ravage is still ready, though, for Whitemon, but Emo's going to try to get it on his own. Not happening. Orchid.
Yeah, that's the Orchid reveal right now, but looks like Fly will be fine for now, as Carl has very little mana to speak of, but Kaka in pretty bad position. Lucent Beam and the Void enough to take him out now.
It's going to cost him the tower. Going the way of Emo here. Not having his best start. Is a very explosive player on Ember. He's had some standout performances, but this time has been slowed down in his tracks. And keep in mind with the Storm Orchid now online and Emo not even remotely close to a counter item, even more pressure on Ollie to make all the right
What would you want on
plays.
him? Like we've seen Yules in the past.
I think
doesn't feel very good on the hero.
I think Yules is probably decent, but maybe BKB is necessary here just so you protect yourself from Crippling Fear as well.
Yeah,
like there's a couple of issues that you're facing, so maybe that is a decent pickup. Kaka's gonna finish his Blink Dagger down here on Lion, so coming up after this Satyr Mindstealer dies, he's gonna be buying that there. Oh,
yep,
they found Ollie
again. Yep, Ollie, the sacrificial lamb. There's the cookie to keep him in place, so maybe yet another death for him. Of course, if you're IG, that's the hero you kind of want to die. But a nice smoke here from T1. If IG are not careful, they could be brought down, but yeah, they can feel it with that scan coming in. Yep. Although, whose scan was that actually?
That was Radiant.
Okay.
It is the obvious move for T1, in all fairness, though. You have 4 heroes that just made a kill there in the top half of the map. They're not pushing the top wave, so they're not going for the tower, so it's not exactly an Hercule Poirot observation there.
Okay, whatever that was.
To go in there.
You need to clear your throat.
Excuse me.
Okay.
But they get the tower still for their smoke, so definitely well worth it here from T1. Ramping up their aggression. Maybe bottom tower is next on the menu. I wouldn't be surprised. And they're going to steal the triangle farm here as well. So nicely done. Even though that might seem like that smoke didn't do that much, it was a pretty big payoff. Plays the same ward as last game as well, by the way. Worth noting, the one at the tier 2 tower in mid is once again down from T1.
So that's 2 smokes now that have been countered by the scan.
Whitemon is showing.
Going to get initiated on by Kaka, but the Kraken Shell does activate. Troll has to pop his ult to stay alive as Whitemon very low, but it looks like JT and Kaka take a tumble. That means IG on the run. Fly going to get brought down as well. And this is looking like a big disaster fight for IG, as Emo just doesn't have the damage to fight, and Ollie just not enough to keep his team alive right now. And it looks like the usual slow death for Abaddon, although, yeah, they don't want to chase any further, I suppose. I didn't realize he still had his ult.
Have IG not watched BSJ's videos?
Which video is this?
That timed was dangling.
Oh my God.
He was literally just dangling out in the front.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna blink Hex there with Lion, he needs to get doomed untied. Like I don't think you can just get this play off where Lion blink Hexes, Earth Spikes, and then you somehow time. And that is exactly what happened, right? Like they couldn't bring down Whitemon like that, and Kaka just ends up dying for it, and the whole fight snowballs very quickly. So
yeah, I mean, you have the 2 Blink Daggers, and I mean, you could go for the... If you have the instant Hex, you don't even need the Centaur Stomp from the Doom, theoretically, right? You blink in and Doom.
yeah, you're gonna see it here. So Hex, or that's after the Hex, by the way. The Hex is already used here.
Yeah.
And now he's gonna go in on the back line there with Doom, but gets ravaged and just killed instantly. No BKB, obviously. So great punish there from T1, and they also had great positioning. That is where you want to take that fight ideally with your heroes. You're very safe on the high ground, and you have your frontline hero be the one to get jumped. It doesn't get much better for you than that.
23 Savage is having himself a game on that Luna, for sure. This is not where you want to be as Troll. He's going to get initiated on. There's the Orchid to silence him, and he is very close to dead. In fact, Cuckoo just finishes him off in style. JT just going to be collateral damage at this point, and T1 on a roll. It's only a 2K net worth lead, but it's probably more if you put in the Doom consideration.
Yeah, it's definitely a sizable advantage. And you imagine the Radiant call now is, okay guys, calm down, we need BKBs, right? Like, I think the timing where you had a good shot at fights with your freshly picked up Blink Daggers is kind of over now. You need BKB so you can contest Ravage, and you need BKB so you don't get ruined by the Orchid and all of the damage. So you can see it queued up for both Doom and Ember and Troll, all 3 of them. Next item coming up.
Yeah. God, playing Troll just feels bad as much as I love this hero. The uncontrollable nature of his ult is just so easily kiteable in most cases, unless you're just mega farmed. And it feels like you have to go BKB every game as well. And I don't know. Hero's not in a good place. I was hoping to see something new potentially. Like when he found some light in a couple patches ago with the Aghanim Scepter, people were buying it every game and going like a mid magic build that had a little bit of life to it. But
that build was did it get nerfed even?
The Ags did not get nerfed.
I don't think so.
Think.
No. The flow of the game just changed. Or it was a fad because Thompson did it in a pub and it made a highlight reel and it looked really cool, and then everyone tried it and then they lost a couple games to them like, meh, whatever.
Yeah, sadly. Only Thompson can pull it off sometimes. Understandable.
Cuckoo with the flank.
T1, yeah. Cuckoo pops the ult. Ollie's going to be the first target for now. Just probably want to pop that Aphotic Shield, or the ult I should say. As TP out. Looks like they're not going to find one outstart here. Ollie finally ult goes up, but they find the Troll in the trees. And even expending Mortimer's Kisses. Down he goes, and that is a celebratory belch from Mortimer himself onto the Tier 2 tower.
Yeah, if you saw how far that glob was shot, that's about half the distance of the Underlord Gate.
Okay.
Just so you have an idea.
Yeah, thank you. For people that they're just joining us, that makes no sense, the reference. If you were with us during our very long fill panel, or whatever you want to call it.
Panel?
Basically podcast at this point. We might as well upload that as our next episode. But yeah, thank you for that great reference as always. We have a quick pause here. People still use TeamSpeak, by the way. Is that actually a thing? Really?
I guess so.
Okay.
I think, I don't know when and where TeamSpeak is more popular.
Can you name... Okay, this is a trivia for everybody in chat, and only the very old people will know. What is the original voice communication software that was popular in gaming?
In Counter-Strike?
Just in general.
Ventrilo?
It was the first one that came out before that.
Before Ventrilo?
That's right. There's one before. It was very popular for about 1.5 years.
Wow.
And then they never updated it.
You're so old.
I know. You're not going to guess it, so I'll just tell you. The name, this is just for the chat since this is a pause. The name is Roger Wilco.
Isn't that...
Google it.
Roger Wilco.
Roger Wilco. It was a revolutionary piece of software.
Isn't that the drink you want with cherry in?
Grenadine?
Yeah. Roger Wilco.
No, that's Roy Rogers.
Yeah.
Roy Rogers Wilco.
You know that meme with the same picture? That's that one. Right
okay.
There. It's the same. It's the same drink.
Just as delicious.
I think if you go to a restaurant and you order a Roger Wilco, whatever, they'll probably be like, "Oh, that sounds like."
A lot of people like they don't want to be embarrassed that they don't know the drink name, so they'll just bring you something, right?
Right.
So it's always a little RNG in that aspect. Okay,
speaking
back to the.
Speaking of drinks, first of all, we have a pause, and secondly, Ollie. No, sorry, not Ollie. Fly has plenty of time to drink right now. Another 30 seconds.
That
on
is
the
an
sideline.
incredibly well-timed segue. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Let's segue into a pause.
Okay.
Wonderful.
What else can we segue here into?
JJ actually just gave me my water, so I'm going to have a sip right now.
Okay, that's unacceptable. We're not allowed to hydrate during the game, only after. So what do you think of the tier 5 items this game, Syndrin? What do you think about the tier 5 items that are definitely going to
do that while I'm drinking? What is wrong with you?
Do you think we're going to see the Force Boots or Fallen Sky that's been left in this game? I will be so excited as always.
Now, that is actually a good question. When you talk about neutral items, do you think we're going to see this or this? So it's literally just a guess, you know? Like,
yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
It's just
we see a replay of the original fight here.
Yeah. A little while ago since this.
T1 in good position right now,
Very good, for sure. And worth noting, I was skeptical about Night Stalker as that last pick with the lane he was facing. Cuckoo's having a huge impact on this game. He did better in lane than I expected, and he's doing better in the game than I thought. So definitely proving me wrong on that one so far. As we are highlighting Pirate Hat, Ex Machina.
All right, let's talk about them.
Yes.
So Fallen Sky got nerfed, right? I believe it was the timing that it takes to actually blink to the target has been increased. So that's actually a pretty big nerf.
It is.
So that was definitely, that's like the best one, or it was.
Yeah. This is, honestly, this is pretty useful information for when we get a 60-minute game tomorrow.
There's a lot of new people, you know, tuning in for the first time. They haven't watched Dota in so long. Neutral items drop from the jungle, by the way. Does that sound weird to you guys? It did sound weird to us as well, and it took some time to get used to. But tier 5s really sold me. The first time I had a game where we were behind and I got a Fallen Sky and we won because of it, that's great. And we see Pig Pole. This is one that turns you into a pig, makes you faster, and gives you a buff that scares everybody away. I made that last part up, but it's a good one. Yeah, highly recommend using that in game if it were to drop.
Like, if you think about it, you get 10% move speed for 4 seconds for hexing yourself. That is such a bad trade-off, but in some niche situations it's good, but the main thing about the item is just 6 all stats, right?
Right. If they reduce the all stats to like 3, how fast would you make it? 10% to what? Like 25?
20 maybe.
20.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, if it was 20 right now, do you think
bad.
that would be broken? I think it would be fine.
Okay. Let me turn this around in a way. Let's say, how often have you seen the pig pole active make a difference compared to the amount of usage?
I've seen people die because of it many times, so it's made a big difference.
How many times has it helped you or anyone? How many times has it had a positive impact to use it? Like, give me a percentage.
One time out of however many times I've seen it in a pro game. It was Firefly from Batrider.
Right. That's also one of the absolute best heroes to have it on.
Other than that, it's gotten them killed about 90% of the time. Like when you activate it, it should say in the tooltip, 90% chance to die when used around enemy heroes. Because that's pretty accurate.
That's a pretty bad neutral item.
Yeah. But it looks hilarious, so
it's
fine.
true.
It's balanced that way.
I honestly think it shouldn't have a mana cost.
I agree.
I don't know why this costs 50 mana. It's not like then you have this cost 50 and then you have the Tumbler's Toy costs 0.
That is weird. Yeah, Tumbler's Toy is actually good.
This one should have a mana cost.
This one's
it should be the
actually
other way
a good
around.
item. Yeah.
This one should cost 50 and the Pig Pole
Ice
should cost
Frog,
0.
I know you're listening because you probably look at all the games and you're seeing that this game's paused, and that's when you tune in specifically because of these conversations that we have, that you take our days and do not give us credit, by the way. Tumbler's Toy needs to have a mana cost. Pig's Pole, nothing. Okay?
Yep.
That's the recommendation from these esteemed colleagues that we have.
And Trusty Shovel should have a chance to dig up Nyx Assassin in Burrow if you use it next to him.
So you keep it all game against a Nyx Assassin that has Aghanim Scepter just in case that you dig him up.
Yeah.
So it like relocates him from his current spot.
No, you get
all right,
him
back into the game itself.
You get him as a drop. Then you
2K
can pick up Nyx and throw him as a spike grenade.
So it's a 6th hero, basically.
Yes.
Wow, that sounds great. That's a tier 8 item. That'll be coming next year. T1 versus IG. I don't know why I'm saying that. 2K network lead for T1.
Let's remember
the
what
pause.
we're watching.
Yeah, the pause was so long I forgot what we were doing, honestly.
Yeah, comes with age.
Emo, pretty close to finishing his BKB, so that's the point where you're expecting them to maybe get a little bit more aggressive and not take some fights.
Yeah, you need to calm the game down a little bit as IG. It's been pretty clear over the last couple of moves that you're just outmatched right now in fights, especially when you don't have the vision superiority, which is hard to obtain against Storm, Night Stalker, and Luna. Every time it's nighttime, this T1 lineup just sees so much of the map. So you got to be very selective. And I do think for IG, if you manage to get these BKBs, you're back. but you only have the Ember one currently. Doom still has 1500 to go, and so does Troll. So you are looking at 2 to 3 minutes before you accomplish that.
You're saying you need all 3?
I think so. I mean, you technically might be able to do it with 2, but why take the risk if they're so close together, right?
Yeah.
You wanna get them connected for a big fight.
Whitemon is going for Aghanim Scepter.
Oh.
At first item, Aghanim Scepter on Tidehunter support. That is awesome. That is so cool. Holy crap. So that gives you the wide AoE of Gush. So you can just hit everybody, basically. And it's going to be confusing when they Ravage, because he has that cosmetic that looks like he's gushing. But
I've always loved this axe, by the way.
It's great. I love it.
I love the AoE Gush.
What are the talents that he took, if you don't mind, Mr. Observer?
10%
All right,
Gush slow.
All right, you got to go Gush damage and Gush armor. And then sadly, 25, there is no Gush. So you just don't skill the level 25 talent when you get to that point. As a position 5 type. Ooh. All right, that is...
Oh, they do get the Hex. Bit of
the Hex from
miscommunication
Kaka.
here.
Definitely some miscues here from T1's side, but Kaka's still going to be the one that gets caught out. So you can see they're even able to make some mistakes like that and still come out on top just because of the advantage that they have right now.
If JT had cast the Doom, that might have been a kill. He pump faked it because he wasn't sure they were connecting, and then Kaka went on it. But then Doom doesn't have Dagger, so they can't really follow up. And this could be really costly.
We're going to see Ollie on the high ground here.
Just
trying to create as much space as possible, as is his job as Abby. But that actually saves Roche, basically.
You are the only person in the world calling a bad an Abby.
Abby.
There is surely no... Okay, actually, maybe Slacks does it. It sounds like something Slacks
No,
does.
Slacks calls Slardar Sladar.
Yeah.
That's tilting, you know.
I don't know what's worse, honestly. Abby.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
What's not wrong?
I mean, I could say Abaddon. I don't like saying Abaddon.
Okay,
So.
yeah, okay.
Would you rather have Abby or Abaddon?
Hey, since I absolutely have to be wrong, which version do you like more?
You know, Ice Frog has set a precedent. Aegis is pronounced incorrectly, so we're allowed to mispronounce everything. I think that's the precedent set overall. So in terms of itemization for T1, Cinderin, are they waiting for anything specific?
They got the NSBKB. They're going now.
Okay.
This is honestly, this is a good time for IG to have a comeback fight. I'd say comeback. Like, they're not very far behind. But they have the triple BKBs online and all spells except Finger, which I don't think is a requirement here if you get the right Doom off. If you Doom Tide pre-Ravage or you Doom Storm, I think you have a really good shot in this upcoming fight. So we'll see the smoke.
I mean, momentum, you're talking about the net worth not being that
Double
big of a
smokes.
difference. Yeah,
Instant
they're
break
going to
on
run into each
Kaka.
other. Cuckoo knows. He's going to get Hex right off the bat into the Impale to follow. Carl jumps in with that BKB, and BKB's popped by both teams, in fact. Ollie trying to tank as much damage as possible. JT looks like he's being able to clean up Zephyr pretty easily. Carl, very low on mana. They really want to take out Ollie first. You can see that is their game plan right now. It's a 2-for-1 to start this fight as Flyfly is going to try to re-engage potentially. Has his ult, but there's the Whitemon ult. It's going to connect successfully. They're going to kite Flyfly as a result, and now he's just stuck in his ult form inside the pit. And that is going to be an easy cleanup crew for T1. You can see the Doom already applied and basically doing nothing against the Storm Spirit here as JT gets the hoof stomp off. But he's going to drop to his death as well. So a 4-for-1 terrific fight from T1. Question is, do they have enough HP to take out Roche now?
Don't think it looks like it. It's a little bit too dodgy, and they're going to both TP out.
You can see how well they kited 23.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Flyfly.
Flyfly, sorry.
They're kiting out the troll. Like,
yeah.
it's really important that okay, we're going to see the replay here. So again, Kaka goes in first, and they use all these spells, but not enough to kill Cuckoo. He gets BKB off. I don't know if this is worth it from JT off on the side. Yeah, you're killing the Snap, but you already stopped the Snapfire's ulti, right? I think Doom has to connect with his team way earlier here and get that Doom out before the Ravage. This is a really good Ravage, by the way, from Whitemon. Perfectly used. As the Doom goes out on the Storm, protects him entirely, and then they count out Flyfly. I think this fight is very different if Doom accepts that stopping Snap ult is enough.
Yeah.
And gets back down. But it's a hard call to make in the moment for sure.
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
So into the Roche pit they go, but there's the smoke from IG. Counter initiation is on the table here. Oh, JT jumps in with a hoof stomp. Gets off the Infernal Blade. They're going to be able to blow up. Poor 23 Savage is donezo along with Zephyr. So 2 for nothing. A great initiation there from IG. And they're going to get even more, and they will get Roche as a result. Holy Jesus, what a turnaround.
This sustains.
Holy Gaben.
That was just a bit too easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, they get the Slight Chains on 2, they get the Blink Stomp on 2, or on 1 even, but I feel like it's kind of criminal for T1 to try to kill Roche without Ravage and without Dark Ascension. I feel like this is just flat out a mistake to attempt this.
Yeah.
It's very telegraphed that they're going there too. And
Yeah, the
nice
Searing
finger.
Chains set it up.
Yeah.
There's
That's
too much
big.
burst
That
damage.
is honestly a full comeback for IG in this game.
Yeah.
And with this Aegis now sitting on Troll, he can get kited twice instead of 1 life.
He will die twice,
Yeah.
but it does take longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just masterful fight from IG. I mean, 1K net worth, so T1 definitely still in it. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
don't get it mixed up here. They,
Always the inflation from Doom. So
Indeed.
it's still a
like, what would you say is probably the correct net worth? Is it like 2K net worth for T1? Something like that? Like a 3K swing,
If
maybe?
we remove Devour entirely here,
Yes. If it was any other like offlaner, essentially.
it's probably something along those lines, yeah.
But with the Aegis advantage, this means that buildings will go down, so IG will likely, I guess, effectively tie it up as a result of this item, in theory at least. But there's a 5-man smoke from T1. The tower will fall here.
Not yet. Nice wraparound here from Cuckoo. He's getting a great angle.
Looking for JT potentially fly. All right. Now they want the Lion first. They're going to focus on him, but there's the Doom applied to Cuckoo. And it looks like he's going to take out very shortly. There's the Ravage coming in from Whitemon. Connects onto several heroes. It's going to be 1 dead for now in the Lion. So Emo, looks like he's going for the outskirts of the Zephyr kill here. Will be successful in doing so. Still with the Aegis online, and T1 expended a lot for this. It didn't really get that much. That means the tier 2 tower will finally fall here.
Yeah. Effectively kind of a Doom for Ravage. Trade,
Oh
right?
my god, Cuckoo. BKB TP. Will it be enough? Oh my god, he dies! Oh, that's a BKB charge. He got so greedy with the neutrals. Oh no. Oh, good lord. That is unfortunate if you're a T1 fan.
That's 1,000 gold for Doom.
Yikes.
That was a solo kill on, was that a 6 or an 8 kill streak Night Stalker? It was a 6 streak.
Oh man. You know,
Oh, boy.
it's funny because when he was in the jungle, I'm like, wait, does he have Shard? Is he going to use a creep to gain HP right now? No, just very greedy. Yeah, at least they know there's a ward there, but it's not worth.
That's worth 900 gold, I'm sure. That info. It's an expensive ward.
Yeah.
Because of this, Doom is going to have Shiva very soon. That accelerated that item by 1.5 minutes probably for him with his GPM. So... And it's a very strong item on Doom for a couple of reasons. First of all, the hero needs armor. Secondly, it helps giving vision around tree lines. And obviously lowers regeneration, which isn't that important in this game, but getting the vision to be able to find the Doom, as well as giving you mana pool for all of your spells. Just an all-round feel-good item for this hero. He's going to sell his Quelling Blade and buy it here. Gotta say though, IG, they're looking in a good spot again now. In a way, it's a very different game than game number 1, but in some ways, it's a little bit similar with the mid-game teamfight execution, right? Like T1 are playing this more skirmish heavy, they have Storm Night Stalker, and IG just pop their BKBs and stand their ground and deliver. So.
Yeah, with still the Aegis in tow, we'll see how much more damage they can do to these buildings. Still 1.5 minutes to go, and I mean, they have basically everything. Doom, not quite up yet. As I say that, it has come back. So this is probably the window of opportunity that IG wants to take advantage of having that second life on Troll, who, like you said, gets kited so freaking easily. Carl jumps in, looking for Ema with a crippling fear to follow, but he has to pop his BKB, gets the Searing Chains off onto 2. Ollie's in the vicinity as well. Looks like Carl's going to get out to safety, though. Doesn't have much mana to work with. Attempting to TP out will be successful. Cuckoo in the meantime. Yep, the Doom will cancel it. And that means 2 BKB charges for Cuckoo have actually just been wasted.
Yeah.
Although I guess trading for a Doom is something. It's better than the original one.
It's something, but that still doesn't feel good. You know you're going to lose mid tower now, most likely. Without your Night Stalker in this fight, can't really hold on to this. And they're actually just going.
JT jumps in with the hoof stomp, past the BKB as well with the Finger of Death. They're going to be able to blow up 23 Savage very easily. And Carl trying to do as much as he can, but he's all alone now. And T1 are just falling apart at the seams here in the last, like, 5 minutes. They don't look the same from the rest of the game. Just completely falling apart.
That's the BKBs. That's it. That was that one thing that IG needed to start winning literally every fight.
Yeah.
They got it, and they just get the job done. Nice ball lightning there, but not quite enough. And the wave's going to come in. Aegis regeneration will go off, so Blackfire will be full HP.
Yeah, this is going to be at
least
minimum 1 rack.
Yeah, this is something Troll is good at. We found it. We found the thing Troll is good at.
With Abaddon as well. Don't forget the Curse of Avernus. Look at that extra attack speed. What a beast that Burden. All right, so we're going to get mid. Going to transition to top potentially. No, they're going to jump in. It's going to force the buyback onto Luna potentially, but no. Cuckoo gets forced after safety, but not safe enough apparently. He dies right in front of his Ancient. So they're going to hold on to the buyback, but that's another 20-second discrepancy. You have to wait for the Night Stalker to come back. When we talk about the Ags, it's, I mean, in theory good for high ground defense, but you need some buildings, you need some heroes in addition. So this is going to be 2 sets of racks for IG when it was looking very favorable for T1 in this game. Oh, they're jumping in. All right, now that Luna's come back, see the Mortimer's Kisses as well. Fly pops the BKB, and with no way to actually stop that TP, they'll be successful in getting out. Ollie, though, again, Sacrificial Lamb, that's the hero you want for it. Abby is dead.
You guys can't see this, but when he said that, he just looked at me in a way like, I am triggering you right now, aren't I?
That's right.
Yeah. You're a very mean person.
Thank you. Yeah, this was
is a great jump.
Yeah, very good.
Very well executed. And at the same time, you might ask yourself, why is 23 Savage there, right? You have a dead Night Stalker. You are Luna, exposed to being blink engaged by either a Lion or a Tide or a Doom there. It is, no matter how you look at it, that is just a mistake. And IG just punish it very quickly. And basically off of that jump, build themselves what should be a victory here. That was the killing blow, although, yeah, I mean, I guess the game's still going, so let's not count them out just yet, but if IG are to win, that was a very key moment in their victory to get that jump. T1 are going to look for some sort of opening here with their Ravage available, but like we talked about, Tide going Ags means there's no like blink surprise engage, and you need longer fights where ideally Cuckoo maybe engages on the Lion, or Storm does, and then you build something from there. But
oh, you got the Silver Edge now onto 23 Savage. Bought the Shard, by the way, so I guess that's still part of the build. We talked about this previously, that it was nerfed some. I wasn't sure if it's like something you actually buy or rely on Roche potentially, but I
don't know if you buy that Silver Edge though.
I mean, you get the crit and I mean, you get some safety.
Yeah, you already have BKB. I don't know.
Wow, Ollie is going for an Aghanim Scepter. Wow. You don't see that very often in position 5.
Philosopher's Stone, baby.
Yeah, that's true. It's a really good Ags, too. Basically, anytime your ult is popped, you will heal your entire team anytime they get hit. So, pretty nice. So yeah, it looks like IG is definitely in the driver's seat. And remember, this is the group stage, so only the first series. Every team's going to play each other. But T1, one of those teams that we weren't really sure about. Like, we thought, like at the Animajor, they were doing very, very well. It looked like one of the best teams in the world, in fact, and then have kind of dropped off a bit since then. So, see if they're able to bounce back in this game here.
Managing to force out the Dark Ascension there is Emo, which is big because this opens up for a potential Roche attempt. As soon as that expires, I think IG should just chill. Like, wait it out. As soon as that ends, you can make your move.
He can actually buy Ags right now and all if he wants. Yeah. That's insane. This is like the fastest Ags I've seen on support Abby. Night Stalker in the trees. You can see Zephyr with the ult. He's not really going to connect on much here. Only a couple ticks. You see the Aeon Disc picked up by Kaka. It does proc, so won't have that for this upcoming fight. And Emo has the Gleipnir, by the way, so disable several heroes now. And looks like they're just resetting into a potential Roche take here. But with that Ags Gush, it is quite annoying to fight into, no doubt about it, in that closed space here. There's the Gleipnir up. 23 Savage has spot BKB and Silver Edge, and now that they know that's down, that is an open fight here potentially for IG. Emo, he pops his BKB though, focusing on Whitemon for now. Doesn't really have much damage to speak of though, as Cuckoo gets initiated on by JT, looking for the Doom target potentially, but Cuckoo has to pop that and back away for now. Searing Chains from afar. Again, Emo just doing so much, creating so much havoc from afar right now. And And Cuckoo looks to be the first to die in this engagement. Does have his buyback, though. They're going to get tied as well. He did have Ravage, but still has the buyback in addition. So we'll see if they end up trying to defend Roche here. That's one. Pretty sure IG's just likely just going to go for this. And all he does have is Ags now. Is this the fastest one you've ever seen?
It's part about it? I don't know.
It's crazy. Oh, we got the Finger of Death on the 2. Oh my god, 23 Savage takes a tumble. No buyback to speak of. And that means it's a 5v4 advantage despite the buybacks coming out from T1. And they lose Whitemon again. That is a dieback. So this is a free Roche. That's going to be Aegis. That's going to be Shard. And that's likely going to be game.
That was such a quick jump too. Like, no hesitation. They have these perfect 2 wards here, pre-placed IG, and they see a key hero, and Kaka's just in right away. You're going to see it here. Instant Hex, just full-on burst. Lion as well as Storm and the Doom Stomp. And here goes Roche. Huge, huge, huge advantage for IG once again, and looking more and more like a 2-0 by the minute. Kyle testing his BKB. It still works, but yeah.
No, that's fitting. A fitting line, at least.
At least they can have a laugh at it. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be the important thing going forward, is to keep morale up in games like this where, I mean, this one feels worse than the first one because you were in the driver's seat.
Yeah, you're doing well in this one.
A couple pretty key mistakes, I think we can objectively say, ended up kind of snowballing this in IG's favor. Pushing out the lane now. He has his Aghanim. He picked up the Shard, by the way, so that will give... Actually, this one's kind of hard to remember. Don't show me, JJ. Don't show it yet. I'm trying to test my trivia here.
Testing what?
The Shard for Ember is you get the remnants do damage over time. They leave a remnant on any dead body around you, and I can't remember what else. There's a third thing.
You restore a charge of your ult every time you get a kill.
Every time you get a kill. Okay. Yeah. So pretty cool. Pretty cool Shard. I like it. I mean, the rest of the team, we talked about Lion already, and it's really just Doom. Might be second place. This is kind of cool. Has the old level death effect.
Yep.
Would love to see that someday, as he has the refresher now to go along. So that's double BKB, double Shivas, double Doom, double Midas.
Is there some sort of lore for like what Doom is based on that makes the whole concept of level death make sense? Like, in the lore of, like, Satan or Lucifer or whatever, does he like to gamble or something?
Oh, boy. We're going to have to hold that thought as 23 Savages, yeah. Refresher was used. Double Shivas.
He got mauled.
We'll have to ask Slacks. I believe that he worships Satan.
Doom also has a voice line that says, I gambled, you lost, right? Like, maybe it's because it's a sin or something or whatever?
Yeah, like when the devil comes down and... there's a lot of movies about that, where somebody bets their soul, right? So maybe
level death is based on that? Yeah.
I don't know. It's an old mechanic they wanted to bring back. Understandable as T1.
You need to come up with that spell first.
That's true.
Oh, Kaka, nothing's happening.
Ollie gets his ult off, and you can see that his Ags is doing almost nothing.
Yep, that's what happens when nobody takes damage.
Yeah, that's true. And this is going to be mega creeps, so IG going to take this 2-0.
No, it's not, Shannon. There's still a ranged barracks top.
My mistake, guys. I forgot that ranged barracks.
Surely it will not be taken in the next 30 seconds.
30 seconds to take it out. Will they do it? That's the big question of the game. There's no question of who's going to win the game in the end. And there's the mega creeps. It's going to be an eventual GG, you would think. Trying to create as much space as possible as Whitemon gets off his Ravage onto 3. The zip back in by Carl. Wi-Fi just able to get his ult off in time, and we'll get the trade very easily there. And already at half HP with that Scotty now in tow. And the Blink Dagger as well. I guess they're just going to hold out as long as possible. I mean, it is TI, so understandable. You never know. If they dive your fountain 10 times, then you can come back.
Maybe T1 predicted longest game of the tournament to be 40 to 50, and they got there now. Well, then you could call it now.
Yeah. Maybe they can hold on another 10 minutes.
Be a very bold prediction.
If this was a pub game, it wouldn't end anytime soon, that's for sure. Oh, Carl jumps in, wants the kill really bad on the line. Looks like he's going to be able to get it, so Kaka takes a tumble. 23 Savage gets off the Eclipse, but there's a whole bunch of creeps there to tank it up, and GG is finally called. So IG take it 2-0. overall pretty convincing.
Yep.
But T1, you know, a little bit sloppy from their side, but you can see the potential.
For sure. I think this game more so than the last one. This time the lanes went better, and honestly for me, the moment in this game that really cost them the most is when they tried to Roche without Ravage and Dark Ascension, right? They end up losing 2 or 3 heroes, and they lose that 8.